When it comes to listening, there's a series of steps that our brain goes very quickly through in order to process messages. So the first stage of listening is receiving, and this is when we have the intentional focus on the speaker's message. And this is when we isolate the message, but we're still only just hearing it. The sound waves are just hitting our eardrums and we aren't processing the message yet. We are just focusing in on the message. We are receiving the message. Step 2 is understanding. This is where we actually attempt to learn the meaning of the message. And this is where listening actually starts. So if the speaker doesn't enunciate clearly, right, it might be difficult for us to tell what the message is. And even if we've understood the words of the message, we need to process that message based on all of our experiences and our backgrounds and all of those various different things. But in any case, we try to learn the meaning of the message. We try to understand what the speaker is saying. Step 3 is remembering, and that's when we recall what was actually said in the message. If you don't remember what was said, then you aren't listening very effectively, and some messages are definitely going to be more difficult to remember than others. But we can improve our ability to remember something by processing it meaningfully. So we can attach it to knowledge that we already have, and so that we can recall it much more easily, and apply it in ways that is meaningful to us. Step 4 is evaluating, and this is when we come to judge the value of the message. And our evaluations of the same message are going to vary widely from one listener to another, and that's based on our experiences, our backgrounds, our cultures, etc. But we come to form a personal opinion on the message that was delivered. And sometimes these personal opinions can come from prejudices, but good listeners refrain from making judgments and focus on the meaning of the message rather than trying to judge the speaker. So we're just judging the value of the message itself. And the final stage is responding. And this is when we give both verbal as well as nonverbal feedback to the speaker. So as you can see, these stages are likely happening very quickly or perhaps even all at once in our brains. We don't really process like, okay, I'm receiving, now I'm understanding, now I'm remembering, now I'm evaluating, and now I'm responding. This all happens very quickly because we've gotten so used to this idea of listening. But stopping and thinking about, okay, have I actually understood the message? Can I recall what was actually said? How does this apply to my own life, etc., can help us to become better listeners.